Oh, I'm back, and I know it feels like a long time since I've posted, and I have been slacking, so I apologize for that. However, it's been a learning curve to kind of balance work and YouTube and, try and learn the ins and outs of it. But I'm working on a schedule, and I hope you guys like what's coming out in the next few weeks. Anyway, let's talk more about schedules. So this year has been pretty busy, and I'm blessed to be invited to these launches and work with a lot of great people. But I have been sitting on a lot of content, and I think one of the cool cars that I got to really test out and experience was the all-new Renault Duster. The previous generation Duster was a South African favorite, or still is a South African favorite, especially among the 4x4 community, as that 1.5 litre turbo diesel engine is renowned for being a champion, especially one of the top achievers in terms of, a 4x4 capable vehicle. Anyway, it was a surprise for us to find out that the new Duster was only coming in a petrol variant. However, it has a bit of a sprinkle of, something special. But anyway, let's dive in and check out the new Renault Duster. So before we break down anything, the new Duster comes with options, like an option for literally anyone. Well, technically there are 2 trim names, but 3 options, which are the Zen, the Inter, and the Zen 4x4. On the launch, we got to experience the Zen 4x4, which was truly awesome because we got to take it from the city to a bit of the countryside, to off-road, and eventually to the dunes. So the engine breakdown between the trims is like this. The base Zen and Inter Duster come with the standard 1.3 litre turbo petrol engine that produces 113 kilowatts of power and comes with a 7-speed automatic transmission with a front-wheel drivetrain. The Zen 4x4 is the mild hybrid system, which comes with the 1.2 litre turbo petrol engine paired up with a 48 volt battery, a 6-speed manual gearbox, and comes in a 4x4 configuration. Pricing as of September 2025 has the base Zen model starting off at 489,999 Rand, followed by the Inter, which is 519,999 Rand, and ending off the spec line with the hybrid 4x4 Zen with a price tag of 549,999 Rand. That sounds like competitive pricing, especially for a subcompact SUV like this. Each variant shares the following similarities: LED auto headlamps and DRLs, automatic rain sensing wipers, a 10.1-inch touch infotainment system, 7-inch digital cluster, wireless Android Auto and CarPlay, electric windows, rear parking sensors, rear view camera, front and rear USB-C charging points, as well as keyless entry. Alright, so the differences lie like this. The Zen is the entry-level Duster with the standard 17-inch alloy wheels, fabric seats, and manual AC. The Zen 4x4 mild hybrid is technically a step up from the base Zen. It is actually a step up, sorry, not technically, it is a step up. It keeps the 17-inch alloys but adds an electric park brake, wireless charging, auto high and low beam headlights, and modular roof bars for extra practicality. It really hits the middle point in the scale between off-road, practicality and modern day conveniences. The Intens takes things further with the larger 18-inch alloys, more premium finishes, advanced driver assistance like 360 camera, blind spot monitoring, auto climate control, keyless entry, and folding mirrors. If I were to summarize the uses for the variants, I would put the base Zen and Intens in the same sort of place, aimed for city slickers looking for better efficiency, a more economical drivetrain, especially for, town and urban areas, and if you're looking at the Intens, the added comforts and safety systems. Now, if you want something built a little more rough and tough, and probably what the Duster is more popular for, the mild hybrid Zen is your best bet. Now, it not only brings the all-wheel drive system, but keeps the Duster's rugged DNA with the chunkier bumpers and durable material designs to handle the tougher terrains. So again, like I said, at the launch we got to check out the 4x4 variant of this car, and I absolutely loved the design. It's such a refreshing and futuristic take on the Duster, especially what we're seeing with the previous generation. It really did need the revamp, and I honestly could not get over the use of the Y. I just love to see that cohesive design style, just from the interior to the exterior. It just felt like a well put together car, especially in the design. The bumpers have a subtle rugged tweak to them, making them unique from the normal variants such as the Zen and Intens, as it has a bit more of a, outdoory feel to it. There's also a height difference, with the ground clearance standing at 217 millimeters, which the Duster uses to achieve an approach angle of 31 degrees. So you could say it's definitely designed and built for that adventurer at heart. The interior also feels nicely suited for what that lifestyle has to bring, as it's simple yet durable and easy to maintain with the choices of materials. I like the space on the inside. It's very cozy, it's very spacious, but also very comfortable. Again, loved the use of the Y shape in the lights, the wheels, and the interior bits. Beyond the design, the Duster is a sustainable eco-warrior, with a large portion of the mud and rear guards being made out of recycled plastics. Look, the Zen 4x4 only comes in a manual, which did take some getting used to, especially on the dunes, but once you found a good handle on the clutch, the Duster really ate up the tracks. This is probably thanks to the drive modes available, which we set to 4-wheel drive lock and turn the traction control off. Other modes include Eco, probably for the streets, Auto, which is a set and forget I suppose, to handle any scenario, with snow and mud being the other options. There is also a hill descent assistant, which gives you that confidence to hit that 31-degree angle on the descents. I think I have to mention again that the Duster is very comfortable. The chassis is well rounded and left me quite surprised when we hit the gravel and the sand. Now, with the pricing and the variants, I kinda have to ask, what was Renault thinking? My only assumption is, because you're really paying for the off-road hardware, the 4x4 drive system, the unique bumpers, the modular roof bars, the higher ground clearance, and that 48-volt hybrid setup, it actually makes sense as to why the pricing is this way. So I guess to summarize again, if you're after tech and luxury, the Intens is the smarter buy. But if you want rugged capabilities, the 4x4 Zen Hybrid is where your money should go. Efficiency is another big difference, with the base engine consuming or sipping 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers, with the hybrid doing 5.7 per 100 kilometers, with an estimated range of 850 kilometers. So I can tell you now that we did get very close to the marketed consumption on the hybrid system. However, I can't really guarantee that 850 is the kilometer mark, because we didn't really do all of that kind of driving. We only did like 2 days, maybe did about 200 Ks per day. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that the hybrid system really pays off. It's not just about the off-road capabilities, it's also about going further between fill-ups. Look, I would love to get the Duster again to do a proper full review. This is all just footage I shot at the launch, but I honestly do love this car. It's very, very nice. And I think the pricing is very competitive, especially with what you're getting from Renault and compared to the other Chinese brands that its, direct competitors are. So what I have to say in summary is that I really do like the Duster. I wish to get the 4x2 to test and see how well that performs. But hey, the 4x4 really surprised me. I should mention that if you are taking it onto the sands, I would recommend that you change out the tires to all-terrain tires rather than the road tires that come standard, as this just gives it a bit more confidence, especially going over the sand. I think though that if I were to give you advice, I would again reiterate, get the Intens if you don't plan to go be an adventurer. It's cheaper, it has a lot more features packed into it, and looks a little bit more premium on the inside with the finishes. But if you are looking for something to replace your previous generation Duster, or maybe find something to get you started into 4x4ing, then the Zen 4x4 is a decent pick. Anyway, just to say plain and simple, I really loved the Duster on the sand. The 4x4 system really handled well. So with that being said, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.